Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Market Overview slash Trade Idea. To the upper right of my screen today, I'm going to be I'm talking about this currency pairs, right? AUD, NZD, CAD CHF, Euro, NZD, Euro, JPY, the NASDAQ, that's US stock indices, and then USD SEC, right? So I know I haven't dropped market overview for about 2 weeks now. Last 2 weeks, we wanted the market to cool off, right? If you watch the last recording I did on market overview, we talked about quite a number of assets. We looked at quite a number of pairs and we were expecting some major moves. For example, the dollar index, we wanted dollar index to really sell down to capturing the daily lows, and that was what happened, right? And then EU also bought up from the imbalance, and then quite a number of other assets really moved. NASDAQ also, yeah, I remember NASDAQ. NASDAQ bought up very well. So I was in for about 12 days, and that really gave us quite a number of gains. Yes, so after that, I couldn't do a market overview trade idea call last 2 weeks because most of all the asset had already moved. So I wanted price to just rebalance, just give the market some breathing space. Let's see what it wants to do, right? And then last week I didn't drop a market overview trade idea call also because I wasn't still saying anything really catchy. But then I actually dropped some trade ideas in the free Telegram group. Yes, I'm sure some of you must have participated from that. And then Charles also, when I dropped the weekly outlook, when I dropped the trade ideas from the bigger time frame, what we do during the week is Charles usually hosts pre-London session calls where we look at each of these assets and we try to look for lower time frame entries that we could potentially take price all the way to the upside. I remember I missed an entry on AUD card. I missed an entry on AUD AUD USD. No, AUD was it AUD JP? No, AUD CAD and AUD USD. Yes, so they actually eat TPs, but did not activate my entry. So that was it. And then we also took a live Euro JPY trade that actually played out well to an extent, and then just came back and then no, what did it? I think no, it didn't try. It just came straight for our stop loss, right? So yes, that Euro JPY just went straight to herself. I remember that call in the morning. Okay, but then that's it. That's it about trading, right? I mean, we make gains and we also lose a part of it. That's it. Because when we make profits, obviously we're not going to be withdrawing everything, right? We still want to keep some money in the account that we can use to trade again, right? And you know, losses are um part of trading, right? Now going into this week now, am I going to take losses? I don't know. I might understand, but then having a good risk to reward is always going to be the holy grail, right? Because when I take a loss and the next trade becomes a win, that's 3 times my risk. So if I risk a certain amount, I'm down that certain amount, and then they go on to the next trade, and the trade is a winning trade. I'm making 3 times what I've lost or what I've risked, right? So if I'm risking the same amount, which I usually do, when I remove that loss, I'm still up about 2x the amount risked, right? So that's how it works for me. Risk management is very, very important. It keeps you floating, just keeps you still being in a game, right? Exactly. So that's it. So yeah, AUD NZD, this is the first asset I want to look at. I actually have a very important call by 1 p.m. So I'm just going to try and rush this um quickly, okay? But then you guys know all the things I look out for. It's not something too hard. It's mostly higher time frame directional buyers, and then most of the entries are into the week, right? Waiting for candles to print, coming to the point of interest. We look for the accumulation or distribution, and then we get in, right? So that's it. It's not something too hard. So just you looking at AUD and ZD now, you can tell already. So I actually add this structure level here. So we had the demand and supply area in this place, right? So let me just take this away. So we do have this structural level. So we had some demand here, right? And then we had some supply here. We had some demand. Price came, you see, give us some kind of supply and then supply. So I actually marked out this area as a very strong structural level, right? And it's obvious because now you can see price came back into that area and now price dropped. So now what do I think is going to be the play for AUDNZD? I'm seeing this liquidity up here. I'm seeing this liquidity that price created last week. And now there's this liquidity I wanted to see the institutions take out. Now, so there's both liquidity to the upside and there's liquidity to the downside, right? So where is the institutions? We are going to move price now. Okay, quickly, I wanted to say something about smart money concept. Oh no, I don't want to spend too much time, so I will discuss it on another call. All right, it's not now. So I just want to rush this up quickly. So for AUDNZD, I'm still kind of uncertain as to where price wants to go to. But obviously, we can see we had 3 consecutive days of sales: Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday. So price actually created equal highs on Monday, and then price rejected to the downside. So now, as the institutions, are they going to come for this liquidity or are they going to come for this one? Now, I'm believing that this lower one would be a target because if I'm saying it right, let me measure from this. Okay, that's a 618 rejection. Price rallied all the way to the upside. If this is what I'm thinking is going to be, then most likely we would see the NZD continue to sell off going into the week, like Monday, Tuesday, price going to continue to sell down. And then like this imbalance is a target for me, right? So this imbalance, we wanted to play this imbalance when we had this liquidity here, but price just bought all the way to the upside. So I'm believing that price will continue to sell down into the imbalance. So what am I saying? When now the market opens going into lower time frame, we want to look for possible sell opportunities. Then we can sell down, take out this liquidity. And then if we get another confirmation that price wants to reject from this area, then, good for us that we can look for some kind of buying opportunity in this area, and then price should go up if price is ready to do so, right? And we could also see if we're going to add some structure level to you can see we do have some demand in this area. We had some demand taking it all the way back. This is a very strong level of demand and supply, right? So price could potentially and come all the way down here and then some kind of rejection to the upside. That's for AUDNZD. So I'm still believing that seeing this heavy sales, I think it's still going to continue. I mean, there might be some retracement, which is going to give us our entry. And then but I'm believing overall AUDNZD should actually sell down, take out this liquidity, and then maybe find some kind of accumulation here, and then probably go up. Who knows? That's for AUDNZD. So card chef So CardChef actually had this markup since last week. I sent it to you guys in the signal and I also dropped it in the free Telegram channel. Scale to the weekly time frame. All right, so we do have, you can see price capture this equal lows. So we had a very major liquidity all the way from like March of 2020, and then this is March. Oh, that's so I consider this is March, and then this is also March. All right, so we had this equal lows, price bought all the way to the upside after creating this bullish monthly weekly candle, and then the next week, and then the next week, and then what happened? Price came up into the imbalance and then look for what distribution to the downside. I'm sure I called this out. I'm sure I called this card PF sell. Definitely sure. It's going to be in one of the recordings. And then price really sold down, took out the liquidity, and then price started to reject and go up. Now, what am I seeing now? What I can see is that we do have equal lows in this area again, right? So now we see there's equal lows in this area. So just like this, right? Just like this. Remember, that is technical analysis. Technical analysis is a study of past price action in order to be able to predict based on what has happened, what the future occurrence is going to be, right? So if I'm saying that this is, I marked out this liquidity, price gave us this fake buy up just to feel the imbalance, come into a structural level. You can see this is a structural level in this area. This is demand and supply area here. So price created the liquidity, that is one. Price rallied all the way to the upside, that is two. Price came into a structural level, that is three. And then price distributed four, and then price sold down five. That's it. Are we having the same situation here? Price created the liquidity one. Price is starting to buy up two. Price is approaching a structural level three. We do not have the distribution yet, and we do not have the run on liquidity yet. So far we only have one, two, three. Even the three is not complete yet because price is not gotten to the structural level. So what I'm believing is that for card chef, I think we might still see some higher pricing. I mean, price is already inside the imbalance. It could just continue to sell off, but I would love to be patient to see price go up, at least come into the structure level. Then I would be on the lookout for some kind of distribution. So I'm not saying you should look for buy opportunities to the upside. I mean, you can take that risk, but I'm going to be patient to wait for price to get to where I want to see it. And then this is where I'm going to be looking for possible sell opportunities if the market gives me the opportunity. Right. So the next one, Euro NZD. Euro NZD also scale down to the daily time frame. We do have this liquidity here, but this is way down. So this is not an interest for me yet. Right. This one up here is an interest for me. Right. So there's equal highs. Price sold all the way to the downside. I remember calling out I think no, it was on the 4 hours, and then I was looking at I gave out the point of interest. And then on the call during the pre-London session call, I think Charles called my attention to price rejecting from this daily imbalance lower. Right. So we waited for a more discount entry. Price came down, and then price gave us this big body candle close on Friday. So we could potentially start to see higher pricing from here now. So price can continue to buy, take out this liquidity. So for Euro NZD, possible bullish price action until we take out the highs. So we will be looking for lower pricing. We will be looking for lower time frame entry going into the week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's try to see if we can catch some buy opportunity. That's why the pre-London session calls are important, because what we do is, again, we look for entries on calls like that. So I just, before Monday, look at each of this currency pair, pick out the ones that is best to play on a higher time frame. What's going to be the possible directional bias? We cannot always get it right, right? Some of them are always wrong, but then some of them are right. I mean, let me say majority of them are right. You can go back, watch the record, and you will see that when we call out these areas, price usually come there and just play out, right? Because price is attracted to liquidity. The institutions are attracted to liquidity. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is quote unquote how the institutions trade, but it's just an idea we've built around smart money concept that this is how the institutions do it. Because we, as retail traders, I mean, we are retail traders definitely, just that we don't trade the retail kind of way, but we are all still retail traders, right? So that's a discussion for another time, though. Exactly. So for Euro NZD bullish price action, then all Euro JPY, I remember this trade. Euro JPY gave us a loss last week, right? We tried to buy it and then it just dumped, right? And that's the importance of having to manage your risk, right? It's just the same percentage of money you're risking in. So if you lose it, you just have to take another trade, 1 to 3, and you recover it back, right? That's why risk to reward is very, very amazing. Right, definitely. Now imagine my NASDAQ trade. NASDAQ trade gave me a 1 to 19. 1 to 19. That's it. So imagine how many trades I have to take now, losing trades in order to even take the account back to where it was. So I have to consecutively take losses and losses and losses and losses and losses and losses, right? That's because I'm risking the same. But if I go ahead now and say, okay, NASDAQ gave me a big win, I just take 50% of the win in one trade. If it doesn't go my way now, I've lost half of out of 12 days of waiting. That's insane, right? Okay. So for Euro JPY, so the reason why we wanted to buy was because we wanted to take out these daily highs. We like to when we see the liquidity, we just like to uh like plan our trade around it. Now the institutions were because last week we had like major news. We had FOMC for the dollar, that's the Federal Reserve. Um Powell. I don't know, we had press conference, right? FOMC press conference, which I watched it. And then aside from that, we also had European Central Bank press conference, and then we had BOJ, Bank of Japan. So like major this banks came out uh this came to talk. So it was interesting to see this. So now okay, quickly, I didn't even show you the news we have for this week. So let me just come all the way to economic activities, Forex Factory. Okay, so these are the economic news we have for this week. As you can see, on Monday, 11 a.m., we have the Euro new CPI flash estimate, Euro, and then on Tuesday, we have AUD cash rates, RBA rate statement. That's on Tuesday, and then in the morning, and then at 4 p.m., we have ISM manufacturing PMI, major news for the dollar index. On Wednesday, we have NZD, employment change, unemployment rates. Yeah, I think this is the week of NFP. Yes. On Thursday, we have GBP major news, Bank of England monetary policy reports. And then on Friday, we have CAD, and then we have NFP, right? So we do have major news this week also. Please just try to trade safe. I would like to play the news. I like to be in before price, before any of this news is about to drop, right? I like to be in on the trade so I can protect my capital. That was the mistake we made for Euro JPY. We didn't know a news was about to drop that morning when we were doing pre-London session, right? That was why it just activated straight to SL, right? So that's how I like to do it. In before the news, I can secure my position. Even though at times, in some rare cases, um, news can actually move price that SL will not be expected, but it's very rare. So now, what are we looking at for Euro JPY? Am I still bullish on Euro JPY? I will say yes, but let me quickly check something. Oh, perfect. Okay, so now price sold down, price came into this what structure level, right? We do have a demand and supply in this area, right? Surprise. I mean, anyway you want to put it, just surprise gave us a supply in this area, came close, rejected, and now it's bounced off really hard from this area, and now price is all the way back up. Now, in terms of the structure, we do have this coming from this area. We have this high, we have this low, and then we have this high. Price has not created a new higher high. Instead, the structure within the structure was bearish, right? Giving us this low, lower high, and this lower low. But the major structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. So all of this could be considered as the range. And if we draw the feed from the swing low here to the swing high, I'm definitely sure we have passed 50%. So it's okay for a discount from the swing low here all the way to the swing high. See price came into a 50% discount of the whole big range, and now price is most likely going up. So what am I seeing for Euro JPY? I still believe it's going to go up because of this liquidity. I want to say this liquidity get captured. So going into the week, I will be looking for higher pricing. Most likely, if you can see the confirmations that price really wants to go up, take out this liquidity, then would make sense to join a buy up. So for Euro JPY, I'm bullish. All right, and then for NASDAQ quickly. So NASDAQ, I mean, I'm really grateful for this trade, right? Because this was my entry for NASDAQ here. Amazing entry, right? This one, yeah. And then just 12 days of waiting, price came close to target, came down, came into this daily imbalance, and boom. There was a big CP high. Yeah, CP high was what gave me this TP. Now, the high know, had I knew it was going to go up this far, but it's okay to take the win and just so I got out here and the price really moved all the way to the upside. So for NASDAQ, what am I seeing now? So I actually wanted price to come down to this structure level, right? Because go all the way back, this is a structure level, right? We had supply, we had supply, we had supply, we also had supply, we had supply, and so I wanted price to come into that area and give me, that was where I wanted to buy from, right? Because we actually had a couple of imbalances. We had this imbalance up here, we had this one down here. So I was of the opinion that the institutions were going to come for this one, and then the retail kind of trend line stuff, right? So it was just lining up. It was just amazing because it was lining up with where I was looking to look for a buy coming from a smart money standpoint. But then price did not do that. So going into the week now, what is going to happen? I would say I will be patient. Okay, I mean, I see this daily highs, right? So I would just be patient to see what happens. It could possibly sell off and just come and take out this, previous weekly lows, internal liquidity, and then we might see the buy from here, or it could just continue to buy all the way to the upside. So I'm gonna wait to see what happens in this area. Just gonna chill and see. And then lastly, USD SEC. Missing trade, this is our currency. Right, so the Swedish krona, I'm seeing this equal lows, perfect equal lows, which I would love to see the institutions come and take this out. Also, I was waiting for this. I mean, I saw quite a number of break of structures even before price got to this high. But that is it. That's something about me. I always like to be patient, right? You can see price came here, gave us the distribution. I wasn't believing this. Gave us the second one. I still did not believe it. And then gave us even the third one. I'm only going to look for selling opportunities if price comes into my point of interest, right? So now price is there at the structural level, demand supply, and also inside the imbalance. So I will be possibly looking for selling opportunity in this area, most likely to take price to the downside if the opportunity presents itself. So that's it. I don't want to spend too much time. These are the assets I'm looking at. There might be more going into the week, but this are the focus we're going to be working with this week. So if you have any question, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. And you're also free to join our Telegram channel. It's free. Okay, just up in, and that's where we drop most of the markups. All right. I mean, it's your choice. If you don't want to, it's fine. You can just stay here. I'll be dropping the videos also. So, all right. So that's going to be it for me. I wish you an amazing trading week. Bye-bye.